Hi guys, it's Blake and I got today's hot tea for you. This is the story of how a psychology graduate's TikTok video about celebrity marriage dynamics triggered a legal battle that's exposing the fault lines between free speech, wealth, and power in the social media age. When Hailey Bieber sent a cease and desist letter to influencer Julie Theus over relationship commentary, it sparked a controversy that goes far beyond celebrity gossip. In January 2026, Julie Theus posted what seemed like just another opinion video on TikTok. Armed with a master's degree in psychology, she analyzed what she saw as troubling patterns in Justin and Hailey Bieber's public relationship. But this wasn't your typical celebrity hot take. Theus used clinical terminology describing what she called Hailey's tolerant codependency and painting a picture of a marriage built on unequal emotional labor. Her words were sharp and uncompromising. She claimed Hailey was tolerating mediocrity, abuse, doing the majority of domestic and emotional labor in exchange for being in a relationship. She characterized this dynamic as a contract I am opting out of, and went even further, alleging that Justin's struggles with drug addiction had contributed to making their marriage abusive. Her prediction was bleak, stating, "Hailey will never leave Justin, she is a stayer." The video exploded across social media, as controversial takes about celebrity couples often do. Then something unexpected happened. According to multiple reports, Hailey herself reposted the video. The move seemed to suggest agreement with the harsh assessment of her own marriage. When confronted about it though, Hailey quickly backtracked, denying the repost entirely. "I didn't repost any video speaking on my relationship. Have a beautiful Saturday," she wrote on Instagram stories. Whether Hailey actually reposted the video remains disputed, but what happened next was undeniable. The Biebers legal team, led by attorney Evan Spiegel, fired back with a formal cease and desist letter that pulled no punches. The legal document branded Theus' statements as outrageous, false, fabricated, and defamatory. It accused her of manufacturing a false defamatory narrative about the couple and demanded she immediately cease and desist from this wrongful and tortious conduct and remove the videos. The letter didn't stop there. It warned of serious legal consequences if Theus didn't comply, stating the couple would pursue all rights and remedies against you. The language was crafted to intimidate, describing the allegations as highly damaging to the Biebers' reputation. Julie Theus wasn't backing down though. Instead of quietly removing the video, she did something that transformed this from a standard celebrity legal threat into a full-blown public relations battle. She posted the entire cease and desist letter on her TikTok account, framing it as an attempt to silence legitimate commentary through legal intimidation. Theus' response was defiant and ideologically charged. "Disagreement is not defamation," she declared, characterizing the legal action as extremely elitist to try to silence opinions just because you disagree. She dismissed the cease and desist as nothing more than a temper tantrum and an elitist temper tantrum of the rich, designed to shut down criticism through financial pressure. Her defense centered on a crucial distinction between opinion and professional diagnosis. Theus characterized her video as clearly opinion-based commentary about relationship dynamics and power, rather than a formal psychological assessment. She argued that her educational background gave her the right to analyze public behavior patterns without crossing into professional misconduct. This situation isn't about defamation, Theus explained in her public statement. It's about whether independent voices can express opinions about public and powerful figures without being met with legal pressure. It's elitist to treat disagreement as something that should be erased. Disagreement is not defamation, and commentary should not require permission. The controversy quickly spiraled beyond a simple legal dispute. Theus began receiving what she described as explicit threats of physical harm, many coming from anonymous accounts. The harassment campaign seemed to prove her point about intimidation tactics being used to silence criticism. "That kind of response doesn't strengthen an argument," she noted. "It reinforces why intimidation is such a corrosive force in public conversation." As the story gained traction, other celebrities began weighing in. Grammy-winning artist SZA entered the fray with a more nuanced take that complicated the narrative. While acknowledging Theus' educational credentials, SZA raised concerns about the ethics of publicly diagnosing individuals without direct knowledge or professional contact. She suggested that such assessments, when presented as fact rather than opinion, could be genuinely harmful. Sz's intervention highlighted the blurry lines in this controversy. Where does legitimate commentary end and harmful speculation begin? Does having a psychology degree give someone the right to make public assessments about strangers' mental health and relationship dynamics? When does opinion cross the line into defamation? Meanwhile, Justin Bieber found himself in additional hot water when he was caught liking a comment that referenced him and his ex-girlfriend Selena Gomez, adding another layer of drama to an already explosive situation. The move seemed tone deaf given the ongoing legal battle over his current marriage. The case has become a lightning rod for broader debates about power, privilege, and free speech in the digital age. Critics argue that the cease and desist represents everything wrong with how wealth can be weaponized to silence dissent. The Biebers have unlimited legal resources to pursue someone like Sesh, creating what many see as an inherently unfair fight. Supporters of Sesh frame her as a David fighting Goliath, a regular person with expertise being bullied by celebrities who can't handle criticism. They argue that her psychology background gives her commentary legitimate educational value, and that public figures should expect and tolerate analysis of their public behavior. The Biebers' defenders see it differently though. They argue that Sesh crossed a line by making specific allegations about abuse and addiction without evidence. Using terms like abuse and drug addiction in relation to real people, they contend goes beyond opinion into potentially defamatory territory. The legal questions are complex. Defamation law requires proving that statements are false and made with actual malice. But what happens when those statements are framed as psychological analysis based on observable behavior? Sesh argues her comments were clearly opinion-based, but the Biebers claim they were presented as factual assessments that damaged their reputation. The power dynamics are impossible to ignore. Sesh, despite her education and growing platform, is essentially a private citizen taking on global superstars with teams of lawyers and unlimited resources. The very fact that the Biebers can afford to pursue legal action, while Sesh might struggle to defend herself, illustrates the asymmetrical nature of free speech in practice. This case also reflects broader tensions about parasocial relationships and celebrity culture. Fans and critics alike feel entitled to analyze every aspect of celebrities' lives, often with the same intensity they might apply to people they actually know. Social media has collapsed the distance between public figures and their audiences, creating an environment where commentary can feel both more personal and more anonymous. This battle between Hailey Bieber and Julie Sesh represents more than just another celebrity controversy. It's a test case for how we balance free speech, professional responsibility, and the power of wealth in the digital age. Whatever the outcome, it will likely influence how celebrities, influencers, and ordinary people navigate the increasingly complex landscape of public commentary and legal consequences. The question isn't just whether Sesh's comments constituted defamation or legitimate opinion. It's whether we're comfortable with a system where legal threats can be used to silence criticism regardless of its merit. In a world where social media has given everyone a platform, this case may determine who really gets to use it without fear.